Hey there, welcome back. This is episode 7 of Reverse Engineering ARM, so in this video we're going to be trying to see ARM thumb mode. Yeah, so for people who doesn't know what this series is about, so this series is about reverse engineering ARM, so if you are new and you just came from this video, then you should be checking the previous episodes, and you should be starting from introduction if you have no idea what we are doing here. So, before we start the video, as always, don't forget to follow me on the different social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and also we just connect to LinkedIn, and make sure you also join the Discord server, I guess. Yes. So, let's start with some history. Okay, so this tab mode, basically, guys, is something that was created in 19 I think is it 94? I just forgot. So yeah, it was 1994 by the ARM7 TDMI. So the T in the chip name is literally that stands for the thumb mode, and ARM was adding it because of a need. So basically, their customers were building embedded devices where memory was tiny and expensive, and that 32-bit instruction were eating too much RAM, so would be just letting them cut the code size by roughly a third without redesigning the chip. So this is exactly where, for example, Game Boy, I don't know if you played Game Boy or not, but Game Boy, for example, was using something similar to what the ARM thumb mode was doing. So underneath there was a software, so there was a piece of code that was running, and that code was running on an ARM chip. So eventually the ARM chip was running most likely an ARM thumb mode code. So yeah, in this video we're going to be trying to explore exactly what this ARM thumb mode code is exactly. So I'm going to be trying to explain for you the ARM thumb mode. Yeah, so it was using SOTAM mode heavily, so the Nintendo itself was choosing it specifically because the GBA memory, the Game Boy bus, memory bus was cheap to the point that the ROM was only 16 bits wide. So that means that a 32-bit ARM instruction will be taking two memory accesses to fetch, for example, a 16-bit thumb instruction that will be just taking a one. So thumb code is literally will be running faster on that Game Boy, for example, despite being less powerful. And it's purely because of the memory bus size. Yeah, so this is just an example of why the thumb mode isn't even existing. So for example, when you take a look at the instruction, for example, in the ARM normal mode that we know, it's going to be something like that. So we have something that is written on 4 bytes, which is a 32-bit value. But the thing is that now when we're going to be working with the ARM thumb mode, we're going to be seeing something like that, which is half the size of this one, which is a 16-bit value. So, which means that this, for example, would be pinpointing to an instruction that can look like that. For example, move R0 into it, for example, 0x1. So this is just an example. This is something we already know. We already know that instructions in thumb mode are instructions in ARM mode are written on 32-bit values, which are equal to 4 bytes. But if we are going to be working with tab mode, now we're going to be seeing something like that, which is going to be written on 16 bits, which means that it's going to be equal to 2 bytes. It's really simple. So this is, for example, for ARM mode, and this is for thumb mode. Despite it's actually the same instruction, but it is written on um, for example, by the way, this is not accurate, so I'm just typing just 2 bytes to make sure that I just say that it's for thumb mode, and this is for ARM thumb mode. This is for the ARM mode, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is basically the differences. There is also a lot of density in terms of numbers. So thumb typically would be achieving around 65% of the code size or something equivalent to it. So equivalent to the ARM code. So that means that you're roughly like more of a 35 reduction, but the trade-off is often needed. So more than the instruction that will be doing the same work. So this is something really important too. In ARM version 8, just for example, I'm talking about ARM version 7, by the way. So this is ARM version 7. In ARM version 8, things changed, which means that with the introduction of the ARM version 7, version 8, there was an introduction to the ARM 64, which means that now there was something, another thing that was introduced, which is Thumb 2. So Thumb 2 was more of the big evolution that was generally really interesting. So the original Thumb, which is the Thumb one that I was talking about, was purely 16-bit and quite limited. So in 2003, for example, ARM was introducing the Thumb 2, which is a major leap. So it's a mixed 16-bit and 32-bit instruction in the same instruction stream. So this was actually giving nearly the full power of ARM with most of the density of Thumb. So the interesting consequences was like that Thumb 2 got so good that ARM is eventually built the entire processor profiles around it. So the killer fact, for example, is that the ARM Cortex M series was like the microcontroller in billions of embedded devices, IoT gadgets, car electronics, ECUs, and so on, was running Thumb 2 only, so they can execute classic 32-bit ARM instructions such as this one, and actually also executing the same 16-bit instructions. So a whole massive product line was appended to the original ARM instruction set in flavor of Thumb. So that's really strong, by the way. So that's why Thumb won actually the statement. Yeah, so basically, this is what's really interesting, and yeah, there was also something that I should be mentioning too about ARM version 7 that killed the general conditional execution because this is really important. So there was a satisfying arc that we should be like taking a look at, which is that when ARM designed the 64-bit ARM version 7 that I was talking about, which is I'm gonna be just typing it for you in here, 64-bit, uh, ARM 8. I'm sorry, yeah, 64-bit. They just removed both the general conditional execution from classic ARM and the whole separate thumb instruction set, which means that a 64-bit ARM has one fixed 32-bit instruction set, and the thumb and only a handful of conditional instruction, like for example the instruction SEL, which is basically one of the instructions that it was using. So the entire ARM versus thumb duality that defines the 32-bit ARM is simply does not exist in the 64-bit world. So, which means that your phone and everything that your phone, for example, processor actually uses. So, Thumb Story is essentially more of a 32-bit chapter. That's a great actually because if you know those things, you're gonna be having more fun. Yeah, there is also another interesting mobile security angle since this series is just basically a continuation to the mobile security series we have. Is that the fact that matters most is that the Android native libraries and any iOS binaries are overwhelmingly Thumb 2. So when you reverse, for example, any app that is having a native layer such as the libraries and everything, your RASP SDK, a mobile malware, whatever. So you're gonna be reading Thumb the vast majority of the time. So that's why you should be knowing the Thumb mode at least. So you need to be knowing that. Yeah. So I'm gonna be just showing for you a case in here. So this video is not gonna be too long. So I'm gonna be just showcasing for you a few things about Thumb, and that's it. So yeah. As I said, so there's something really, really important about Thumb is that the address that we should be jumping to switch between ARM to Thumb is that we need to jump to an address that has the one bit at the end of it equal to one, which means that if you have, for example, this instruction, with the address. Let's say this is the machine code, this is the opcodes of the instruction, and this is the address. Let's suppose this is the address 0x002. And by the way, I don't know if you have noticed this or not, in the CPU later, if you open the disassembly, all the addresses are all of them are ending with let's just check the, okay, let me just compile and run this one. Yeah, all the addresses of the instructions that we have are having the bit 0 at the end, which means that they are not divisible by, I mean, like they are divisible by 2. Yeah, so which means that all of them should be having like a 0 at the at the LSB, the least significant bit, which means that the least significant bit, for example, in this case, if the address is 0x002, that means that the address is basically just having the bytes, the latest byte as equal to 2, which means that if you just convert this to binary, you're going to be having something like that. So 1 0 0 0 and 0 0 0 0, etc. So you're going to be having something like that. Okay, so this is basically what the ARM mode is having. But when you want to switch to thumb mode, you should be just doing more of an OR instruction, or trying to add one to the address that you want in order to be able to change to the thumb mode, to be able to execute in this mode that has the size of the instruction equal to 2 bytes of opcode. So that means that in thumb mode, this address should be equal to 0x03, for example. When it's equal to 0x03, which means that the address now is having 1 1 and 0 0 in here. So 0 0 0, for example. This one is basically now gonna be executing in thumb mode. So to just recap a bit, so in order to be able to go from ARM mode to thumb mode, the address should be having a 1 in its LSB. By the way, this we call this the LSB. So we call this the least significant bit. So this is the LSB. So the LSB should be equal to 1 in order to be able to switch from ARM mode to thumb mode. Yeah, so basically now if we check out our code that we have in here, we are having that we are just moving the address of the thumb entry, which is something that you can see that I'm also adding the point to say that it's a thumb piece of code that will be executed, and this one is a .arm piece of code. Is that the thumb entry, I'm gonna be just having the address, which means that it's already uh, divisible by 2, which means that it doesn't have the 1, which means that if we add a 1, now it's having its own it's having now a 1 at the LSB. We can either add a 1 or we can do a OR operation. For example, it's really simple. You have an address equal to 0x02. What is the easiest way to make it equal to, what is the easiest way to add that 1 is to simply do an OR operation. So to make this, for example, let's say in thumb mode, is that you take the address. So this is the address. We're gonna be using this a lot, especially when we are, by the way, trying to emulate a thumb in an ARM thumb mode code, which means that we need to emulate a thumb mode code. We're gonna be using this a lot. So we just take the address, the previous address, and we just do an R operation with it. So this is the R operation with the just bit 1, which means that it's going to be now equal to 0x 2 XORed with 0x1. I'm sorry, not XORed, OR. So ORed with 0x1 equal to 0x3. Eventually, this is how you do like a conversion from ARM mode to thumb mode. This is something that we're going to be using a lot, especially in the video that I'm going to be uploading about unicorn engine emulation. This is a video that's going to be dropped in the next few weeks, most likely. So we're going to be trying to emulate a bit some thumb mode code. So we will be needing this. So make sure you understand exactly that this is in ARM mode, and if you want to go and try to do a thumb mode, you should be ordering the address that you want to go to. with the 1, so which means that you should be going to 1. So this is what I'm doing in here. So I'm getting the thumb entry, which is something that is in ARM mode, adding a 1 to make sure that it's actually now gonna be going into some ARM thumb mode code. And if we try to, for example, compile and load this, BX, by the way, is branching X to say that we're going to be switching modes. So this is really important. So we're going to be switching modes to the address that is in R0. So now when I step into this one, what he's going to be doing is that he's going to be trying to check out what is the address that is in there, and if it is equal to something that has the LSB equal to 1, that means that he's going to be switching to thumb mode. So let's go to this one. Let's do step into, and now we see that the BX is now to a thumb mode that is not supported, which just means that the simulator is not supporting this mode. So we just have to stay in our mode. So yeah, sure, just this simulator doesn't support the thumb mode, but doesn't matter. So in this video, I'm just showcasing for you what the thumb mode is about. In the next video, we're going to be trying to see, especially there was a video that I will be trying to make to showcase to you how to debug line by line any thumb code that we have. So this is the thing. Yeah. So we also have something in the Go Bolt that I want to show you. So this is just a simple website that I use a lot, especially when trying to compile any kind of code. So we see in here there's a function. So and this is a great opportunity also to revise a bit the function prologue and the function epilogue too. As we can see in here, we have a function square that takes a number and that's just it returns the square of that number, which is the multiplication of that number by itself. So we have in here just the function prologue, and we have in here the function epilogue. So this is just to make sure that we set up the stack frame, and this is used to release the stack frame. So, and here the operation happens of the main stack. So the interesting thing in here is that in thumb mode, we only use the register from register 1 to register 7. We don't use the rest of the registers because this is all what we need to do. And by the way, anything that I'm talking about, I highly recommend that you check out the ARM thumb mode instruction. So if you open up this one, you're gonna be seeing a whole long list of introduction, architecture, instruction set, thumb, instruction summary. And here you will be finding all the instruction set of the registers that you can be using and everything and anything that you're curious about. So yeah. If we try to check, for example, the thumb mode, let's say I want to compile this piece of code in the thumb mode. As you can see, now we are having the maximum one, which is the register 7 instead of register 11, which was used for passing the argument. This is just basically what this ARM thumb mode is about. It is used everywhere, especially if you're going to be reverse engineering a lot. Any code that is going to be using native code, especially libraries in Android, iOS too. So you need to be knowing what thumb mode is about. I hope this is a great video that will be introducing thumb mode for you. In the next video, I'm going to be trying to explain another topic that is really interesting. Then we start reverse engineering maybe some binaries together. So you make sure you stick to the rest of the videos, I guess. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel if you feel like this channel is helping you learn reverse engineering, I guess. And yes, I guess that's it. Make sure you also share it with your friends. That's really important too. Let the knowledge get spread it. Yes, that's it. Bye.